Hey guys, and welcome to this video. Today I'm going to be talking about the new Tom Ford Holiday 2021 makeup collection, and I have one piece from this collection. I have the new Tom Ford Extreme Badass Eyeshadow Quad in a Lava Luster. Today I'm going to show you close-ups and swatches in natural light, and also I'm going to create the look using this new eyeshadow palette. This is a new formula from Tom Ford, so let's go ahead and get started. If you're new here, please be sure to subscribe if you love luxury beauty, become part of this amazing beauty family that we have here, and also follow me on Instagram. Now let's have a closer look at this palette. For Holiday 2021, Tom Ford are releasing two new eyeshadow quads and a couple of lip colors. I was only able to pick one of the eyeshadow quads, and this is the Extreme Badass eyeshadow quad in Lava Luster. This is a completely new formula from Tom Ford. For those of you who have been following me on this channel, you probably know that some of my favorite eyeshadows are from the Tom Ford Wet and Dry formula because of their amazing formulation and the way they look on the eyes, the way they blend, they have amazing color payoff. Now this is something completely new from Tom Ford. First of all, we have a limited edition ombre packaging. The packaging is very beautiful. You can probably see this gorgeous ombre effect, and all of the footage that I'm inserting is going to be filmed in natural light so that you can really see how the colors look. I'm also going to insert some footage in direct sunshine because I was able to get some footage in direct sunshine. So I really like the packaging. It is like a combination of the Soleil Neige packaging and the Extreme packaging, and it has this ombre gradient effect, which I love. And then I was very surprised to see the new formulation from Tom Ford. At first, when I look at the colors, they look a little bit flaky in the pans. They remind me a little bit of some of the Pat McGrath eyeshadow colors, and they are very pigmented. Now, I was expecting that the colors are actually going to be flaky, and I was very afraid because I have a really sensitive eyes and my eyes easily react. But when I touch them with my finger, they are actually very creamy, and they transfer on my finger as very creamy. And when I swatch them, you can probably see how vibrant the colors are. And I only made one swatch. I didn't have to repeat the swatches because usually with some eyeshadow palettes, for example, with a regular formula from Tom Ford, I would usually have to swatch the colors a couple of times so that they can show up on my arm, and my arm is not moisturized when I'm doing the swatches. So the colors are intense, metallic, and I can't wait to try them on my eye. Today I'm going to be trying the Tom Ford Lava Luster eyeshadow palette with you for the first time, and when I swatch them with my finger, they look absolutely amazing. But first of all, before applying them on my eyes, I just want to see what's going to happen when I try to pick up the color with a brush, because I think that these colors are going to be best applied with fingers. And you can see that I don't actually get much on the brush. This is just for me to explore how this palette looks. And today I'm actually going to create two different looks on different eyes, just so that you can see how this eyeshadow performs. Right now I'm dipping the brush in this color here, which happens to be my favorite. This is definitely the color that I'm most excited to try on my eyelids, and I don't pick up much color. I think that these colors are going to be excellent toppers as well, but probably similar to the special shades of Pat McGrath, these are best going to be applied with fingers, because you can see probably that I don't get much color when I try to pick up the color with a brush. Now let's go ahead and clean the brush in a towel. I'm just wiping the brush vigorously in a towel to remove the color. I do get a little bit of color, but I'm not really sure if the camera is even going to catch this. You can probably see right here. Okay, now let's go ahead and try also the other colors, just so that I know before applying them on my eyes. Now I'm trying them yellow, the gold color. And this one does show up with the brush. Probably if you want to apply these colors with a brush, they are going to be more subtle. So I can definitely apply this color with a brush. And then let's go ahead and see also the other two colors. So after exploring the colors with this brush and wiping it in a towel and trying to apply the colors on my arm, I think that these colors are definitely going to be best applied with fingertips to have the best color payoff, because you can see that the colors are very subtle. But I'm going to explore and play with this palette today. When I start picking up the color with a brush, I get some fallout and some kind of a glittery fallout, which right now I don't want for my eyes, because my eyes are very easily irritated. And if you've been following me, you probably know that I have probably the most sensitive eyes here on YouTube. I'm not sure if anyone is experiencing such problems, but I did have problems for 3 months now, and it's very hard to actually control the irritation of my eyes. My eyes very easily get irritated from everything basically, and that's why I want to be gentle. So that's why I'm going to be using my finger. And to be honest with you, I think that these colors are just best going to be applied with fingers to get the best results. Now let me go ahead and show you how it looks on my finger. You can see probably a little bit of some tiny flakes on my finger. So I'm going to go ahead and just pat this color on my eyelid, and oh my gosh, the pigmentation is absolutely stunning. Okay, so now that I have you closer to my face, I think that you can probably see this beautiful, it's almost like a foil effect. It's gorgeous. This shade is definitely my favorite. So the shade that I was using is this one, and this is definitely a favorite. Now I'm gonna go ahead and apply the yellow color on the other eye, just so that we can see the difference. And I'm going to try actually and focus this color only in the inner corner, the first third of my eye, so that we can try also the other colors. So today I'm only exploring the palette and showing you how the colors look. That's what I usually do with my first review of palettes, because the whole goal is for you to understand if you like this palette or not, and how the different shades are going to look on the eyes. Because if I only create one look, apparently I'm not going to be using all of the colors, and you're not going to be able to see for real how they perform. This gold is absolutely stunning. Now let's go ahead and try this color on the other part of my eye, and this is almost like a sunset color. I cleaned my finger beforehand, guys, so I'm not mixing the colors, but this is the most interesting color in this palette, because you can see probably that as I shift my finger, as I move my finger, you can probably see the shift of color. It goes from yellow to bright orange. It is almost like a sunset color. And I actually have Pat McGrath eyeshadow quad, which I'm going to take in a minute, because I think that this color is actually going to be similar to one Pat McGrath eye color that I have. I don't have a lot of Pat McGrath eyeshadows just because they tend to irritate my sensitive eyes, and that's why I don't show a lot of Pat McGrath on my channel. I love the shades that she creates, but they irritate my eyes, and it's not about her eye colors, it's just about my extremely sensitive eyes. So if you have sensitive eyes, do stick around. So this here is the sunset color, and I'm going to blend, of course. After that I'm going to do something, and I'm going to try and create a normal look with this, but right now we are just exploring, and I'm so happy to see actually Tom Ford going into this direction and creating some more interesting colors. I think this is excellent for the brand and for all lovers of Tom Ford. I think that this palette actually is going to pair beautifully with the Naked Pink eyeshadow palette, which was released a couple of months ago. I have a review of this palette, and it was very, very subtle. And I think that just the combination of the Naked Pink palette and this one is going to be absolutely incredible. I'm definitely going to create a look using these two, because the Naked Pink palette was so subtle, and this one is really intense. So this palette is like the complete opposite of Naked Pink, and I really enjoy that. Okay, and now it's time to try this color here, which again is quite intense. Let me go ahead and try this. And this is almost like this rusty color. It does have a little bit of pink, it does have a little bit of orange, a little bit of almost like a dark hue to it. It's very interesting. So I'm going to be applying this color right here on the outer part of this eye. So you can probably see that it doesn't appear extremely intense. I really like this palette. So what I love actually about this palette is that you can use each of these shades alone and create the look. And each of these shades is actually going to be an excellent one and done eye color. So that's one reason to pick this palette. Now I see a couple of glitters here under my eye. So if you're working with a brush, you're definitely going to have fallout from this. You're definitely going to have a lot of glitter fallout, but I think this is completely normal considering the formulation of the eyeshadows. So they are best going to be applied with either a flat brush that has really firm bristles and just pat into the skin, into the eyelid, or then the way I apply them with finger, just to avoid this fallout, because there is going to be fallout for sure. So I just decided to pause the video for a while just to see how the colors look and go close to the window, even though it's quite cloudy outside. And these colors definitely attract the light in such a beautiful way. They almost look like foil effect on the lids. And I'm going to just go ahead and blend the colors a little bit and try to create a look from this what happened actually here. So I'm going to be very careful with the blending, because definitely there's going to be some glitter fallout, which I don't want right now for my eyes, and I have to be really careful about that. And I'm using just a clean brush to blend the colors. So right now, to finish off the look, I'm going to get my Naked Pink palette, which I think is going to pair beautifully with this new Lava Luster palette. And I'm going to get this color here, which is a beautiful transition shade, help with the blending of the colors. Now you can definitely use a brush to apply these colors from the Lava Luster palette. And if you use a brush, actually, you're going to get a more subtle effect. They're not going to be as glittery. But then I would advise you to do your eyes first, and after that clean the area under your eyes, because for sure you're going to experience quite a lot of fallout. Because actually right now, as I'm looking at the swatches that I made with the brush, they add a very beautiful, very sophisticated sheen of color. Now I can do that just because of the sensitivity of my eyes. And if I start working these colors with a brush, I'm going to get a lot of fallout, and then my eyes are going to get irritated. But if you don't have sensitive eyes, you can definitely go ahead and work these colors with a brush and get a more subtle effect, which I think is going to be gorgeous, especially for the holiday season, and also for every day. It's going to be great to wear these colors. So I'm just going to help now blend the colors here. And then I'm getting a different brush, and for my other eye I'm going to be using this more reddish color because I used the more intense color here. So that's why I'm just going to go a little bit more intense on this eye, just to help blend the colors, because in the crease it's always good to have something like a matte transition shade that is going to help the colors to blend in together a lot better. And then I applied from this color here, this is from the Naked Pink palette. I applied this color on my lower lash line just to finish off the look. And then also I have a touch of my favorite Camellia highlighter by Chanel in the inner corners of my eyes, the lower inner corner. You can probably see a little bit of light here, and I'm going to have a link in the description box exactly to this highlight. This is one of my favorite Chanel highlighters. So let me know what you think in the comment section below. I'm just going to give you some time to have a look how everything looks on my eyes. So now that I finished my look, I'm ready to share with you my first impressions on the new Tom Ford Holiday 2021 makeup collection, and more specifically this eyeshadow quad in Lava Luster, this new formula by Tom Ford. I think that I really like the approach of Tom Ford, and as a lot of you have already noticed, lately we have been getting a lot of re-promotes from Tom Ford in a limited edition packaging. Now I'm very happy to see that Tom Ford actually created something completely new, something that they haven't done until now, and I'm very happy to see that they're exploring new eyeshadow formulations. I think that this palette is beautiful for the holiday season. I think also it's going to be beautiful for all year round when you want to feel a little bit more special or a little bit more adventurous. I think that all colors in this palette are beautiful. If you like the color story, then definitely go ahead and get your hands on this palette. It's not exactly what I expected from Tom Ford. It's definitely something new, and I was quite happy to explore this palette. Now, my favorite formula from Tom Ford still remains the Wet n Dry formula, just because of the way the colors apply, the way the colors look. But this one is a very interesting take, and I really like seeing Tom Ford exploring with new formulations and trying to give their audience something new. So I truly appreciate the effort, and I think that they created a beautiful eyeshadow palette. These eye colors can be used on their own, or they can be applied on top of other eyeshadows. I think that they're going to work beautifully as toppers, just to add on top of some other eyeshadows, to add a little bit more sparkle. And now, as I promised, before I end this video, I'm going to give you some comparison swatches to the Pat McGrath shade that I have. So one of the colors that I wanted to swatch is this color here from Venus in Floors, Luxe Quad from Pat McGrath, and it reminds me a lot to the reddish colors that are on the bottom of the palette. So I'm going to go ahead and swatch this for you now, and also let me know in the comment section if you want me to swatch other colors that I have in my collection, because you guys seem to know better what I have in my collection. And I'm actually always very happy to help and very happy to give you swatches so that you can save some money, or you can just decide if a product is right for you or not. Now, as I start dipping my finger into the special shade of Venus in Floors by Pat McGrath, the eyeshadow feels so, how can I say it, so smooth. There's some kick out, you can see when I start swatching my finger, but you can see that it's like, it's amazing. These colors, I feel so bad that I can't use these colors because of my eyes, because these special shades from Pat McGrath are absolutely so stunning, so gorgeous. I just feel so bad that I can't use them. But when I touch it, it just feels somehow almost smooth. It has a different feel than the Tom Ford palette. And now I'm going to swatch next to it this kind of a sunset color from Tom Ford. And the Tom Ford eyeshadow, when I touch it, it just feels a little bit, I don't know, it feels maybe a little bit smoother, almost like a cream to powder eyeshadow. It just feels different. The feel is different. So this is not the same formulation. I think that you can definitely see the difference in the formulations. So on my index finger is Tom Ford, and then on my middle finger is the Pat McGrath. And you can probably see the little flakes on Pat McGrath, which we don't have in Tom Ford. And the Tom Ford eyeshadow is just very smooth. It's a metallic shade that is very, very smooth. And it's not as flaky as the Pat McGrath color. Overall, the special shades from Pat McGrath have a little bit of flakiness to them, which actually I think this is the problem for my sensitive eyes, whereas with Tom Ford or with Charlotte Tilbury special shades, or this kind of more intense metallic colors, they don't have and they don't feel as flaky, and I suppose that that's why I can use them very successfully on my sensitive eyes. Now, I think that was all for today's video. Thank you so much for joining me, and thank you so much for spending time with me. I hope to see you in my next video, and don't forget to follow me on Instagram and subscribe if you haven't already. Join this amazing beauty family that we have here. Take care, bye!